It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. I'm looking for a frequency I don't know how to fix. The radiator's clicking like a heart about to break, counting every second of this hollow wide awake. I walk into the kitchen and I hear the kettle sigh, but it's just the winter wind beneath the 2026 sky. I found your spare key in the bowl beside the door. It doesn't feel like heavy metal anymore. The walls are still the color that we chose back in July, but now they're just a canvas for a long and dark goodbye. I'm a stranger in the hallway, I'm a ghost inside the room, watching every forever meet its quiet winter doom. Now I'm living in apartment echoes, bouncing off the floor. The sound of your shadow not walking through the door. A symphony of almost, and the ghost of your life, tearing this empty space in a jagged, lonely half. Every creak of the timber is a whisper of your name, but the person in the mirror doesn't look the same. Yeah, I'm lost in these apartment echoes. I saw the dent upon the sofa where you used to read, a permanent reminder of the love I no longer need. I try to play the music loud to drown the silence out, but the static only feeds into every single doubt. Vibrate with our light. Now they're just a prison in the middle of the night. I'm pacing out the distance between hello and the end, searching for the lover that I lost within the front. If I scream into the rafters, will you hear me? Is there a secret resonance like the empty corner's key? Or is it just a hollow box of brick and wood and stone, where the only thing that answers is the fact that I no! just a vibration between the ceiling and the wall. One more heartbeat, one more sigh, underneath the black and hollow sky. Echoes, just echoes of you. It's Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. I'm looking for a rhythm that I don't know how to fix. The sun is dipping low behind the skeletal trees, dropping honey-colored shadows to their winter tired knees. I'm standing in the kitchen where the tile meets the light, right where you used to hold me before the coming of the night. But the warmth is just a trip of the dust in the air, because I reach beside me and there's no one really there. The sky is bleeding amber, the clouds are turning gold, a masterpiece of forever that we didn't get to hold. I used to love this timing, I used to love the glow. Now it's just the longest shadow of the day you had to go. Now I'm just standing in a broken golden hour, watching all the sweetness turn a little more sour. The light is beautiful, but it's cutting like a blade, showing me the wreckage of every promise that we made. It's a sunset in the house, has gone hollow and cold, clinging to a story that's already been told. Yeah, I'm fading in the dark of a broken golden hour. I saw your silhouette dancing on the peeling hallway paved, but the edges of the image are growing far too faint. I remember how the light used to catch in your hair, back when we believed that the world was actually fair. Now the carpet's turning gray and the violence turning black, and I'm facing a reality that won't ever bring you back. I'm a navigator searching for a star that's gone to sleep in a 2026 January silence that I'm forced to keep. They say the sun has to set for the stars to finally shine, but I'm terrified of losing the way your hand fit in mine. I'd rather stay in this flicker, in this dying orange haze, than admit I'm at the end of our sun-drenched day. the gold is turning to lead. The words are staying unsaid. One last sliver of light before the winter takes the night. Don't let the sun go down. I'm not ready for the dawn. Just a broken hour without a single spark. It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. I'm looking for a warmth that I don't know how to fix. The power's out across the block. The world is hushed and still, except for the biting January wind against the sill. I struck a match to find my way through the shadows of this hall, and watched a flickering ghost of us start dancing on the wall. I'm sitting at the table where the wood is scarred and old, clinging to a flicker because the house has grown so cold. The wax is dripping slowly like the minutes on the clock. I'm listening for a footstep or a key inside the lock, but the flame is just a tiny spark against a sea of black, a fragile little signal that won't ever bring you back. Now I'm just living in a candlelit echo of your love, praying to a ceiling that I've grown weary of, watching how the golden light trembles in the draft, remembering the way we used to sit and how we laughed. It's a soft and hazy memory, a beautiful mistake, a jagged little ribbon for a solitary ache. Yeah, I'm lost inside a candlelit echo. I saw your silhouette in the way the wick began to bend, a portrait of a lover who forgot how to be a friend. The light is casting halos on the empty space you left, in a room that's gone so hollow and a heart that's so bereft. I remember how the fire used to burn inside your eyes before we learned the flavor of 100 small goodbyes. Now I'm shielding the embers with a numb and heavy hand, watching The Last of Us finally let go. One last flicker, one last sigh, underneath a black and hollow sky. The smoke is rising, the light is gone. I'm sitting in the dark now, waiting for the dawn, just in that cold goodbye. It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. I'm looking for a feeling that I don't know how to fix. The steam is rising slowly from a chipped and ceramic rim, as the winter light of morning starts to make the kitchen dim. I found that old tablecloth, the one with the floral weave, the one you said was beautiful the night you had to leave. Now it's stained with a ring where my cup always sits, a tattered little witness to a world that's gone to bits. The house is getting colder, the air is biting thin, and I'm wrapping all this sorrow like a shawl against my skin. I'm a curator of shadows, I'm a guardian of the gray, watching every bit of us slowly drift away. Now I'm just living on faded lace and coffee, waiting for the ghost of you to finally set me free. It's a bitter kind of mourning and a fragile kind of thread, clinging to the echoes of the things we never said. A little bit of caffeine and a lot of jagged grief, searching for a comfort that is far too small and brief. Yeah, I'm lost in faded lace and coffee. I remember how the fabric used to look so white and new, back when every always had this solid weight of you. Now I'm tracing out the patterns with a numb and heavy hand, in a 2026 excellence that I'll never understand. I saw a loose thread hanging by the edge of the table. I thought about fixing it, but I'm just not able to sew back the pieces of a dream that's come undone underneath the hollow light of a January sun. They say that time is a healer, but I think it's just a stain that turns a vibrant colors into a dull and steady pain. The lace is getting thinner and the pot is running dry, and I'm still waiting for a courage of a real goodbye. The cup is finally empty. The lace is starting to tear. I'm just breathing in the static of the cold and empty air. One more sip, one more sigh, underneath the black and hollow sky. Lace, cold coffee, goodbye. It's Tuesday night, January 20th, 2026. I'm wandering through habits I don't know how to fix. The floorboards creak like they're calling out your name, but the air in the kitchen doesn't feel the same. I pass the mirror where we used to stand so tall. Now I'm just a shadow stretching out against the wall. I reached for the light, but I left it in the gray, because the brightness only shows me that you went away. Every door I open is a memory in wait, a heavy wooden witness to a long-decided fate. I'm a stranger in the blueprint of the life we used to own, learning what it sounds like to be truly, deeply alone. Now I'm just walking through these hollow hallways, lost in the echoes of our forever and always. The silence is a predator, the quiet is a ghost, haunting all the corners where I miss you the most. It's a long dark tunnel with no light at the end, searching for the lever that I lost within the flood. Yeah, I'm just drifting through these hollow hallways. I saw your old boots sitting dusty by the vent. The only thing you left me was a fading leather sun. I walked to the bedroom, but I stopped at the fame, because the bed is a desert that I can't quite tame. The walls are still the color that we chose back in the spring, but now they're just a gallery of every broken thing. I'm pacing out the distance between hello and goodbye, underneath the ceiling over black and hollow sky. If these walls could talk, they tell me to run, they tell me that the story is already done. But I'm addicted to the resonance, the humming in the wood. I'm staying in the wreckage, cause I don't know if I should ever leave the place where we were good. Turn the heater up, the house is getting cold. I'm the only secret that these empty rooms hold. One step, two steps on the 2026 dark, just a hollow man looking for It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. I'm looking for a rhythm that I don't know how to fix. The neon sign is flickering, a jagged, tired blue, casting long, distorted shadows of the ghost of me and you. The ice is melting in the blast, a slow and steady beat, while the winter wind of January sweeps the empty street. I'm staring at the phone like it's a relic from a dream, watching how the world pulls apart at every single seam. The bartender is clearing up, he's reaching for the light, but I'm not ready to surrender to the middle of the night. I'm dialing up your number just to hear the static hum, waiting for a feeling that has finally gone numb. And it's a last call in slow motion, a long and fading cry underneath the heavy ceiling of a 2026 sky. I'm reaching for the always as it steps right through the door, feeling every second like I've never felt before. The music's getting thinner, the room is getting cold. I'm clinging to a story that's already been told. Yeah, it's just a last call in slow motion. I saw your silhouette against the frosted window pane, but it was just a trick of light and a memory of rain. I remember how we used to toast to everything we'd be before the weight of never started sinking you and me. Now the chairs are on the tables and the floor is being swept, and I'm the only secret that this whole bar has kept. I'm chasing out your name in the condensation on the rims. The colors of evening start to grow a little dim. Is there a way to stop the clock or turn a record back, to find a golden thread before the vision faded black? But the whiskey's got the water and the lights are turning low, and I'm the one more ring, and the line goes dead. One more word that I should have said. The lock is turning, the street is white. I'm losing you again in the middle of the night. Slow motion, last call, goodbye. It's Tuesday night, January 20th, 2026. I'm digging through a drawer of things I haven't learned to fix. Found a pair of faded slips from a theater downtown, back when we were building up a world that's fallen down. The date is blurred in purple ink, a rainy night in June, before the winter came along and took you far too soon. I'm holding on to paper like it's solid ground to stand, but it's just a ghost of us inside the palm of my hand. Admit one to the memory, admit one to the pain. We're standing in the lobby while I'm waiting for the rain. The show is long over and the screen has gone to black, but I'm still holding on to something that won't bring you back. Now I'm just clutching lost ticket stubs to a dream, ripping at the edges, coming apart at the seam. A seat in the back row, a hand in the dark, searching for the flicker of a long extinguished spark. It's a movie we finished, it's a story we told, tattered little pieces of the life I used to hold. Yeah, I'm just staring at these lost ticket stubs. I saw the venue's marquee as I drove through town today. You've painted over all the names and changed the neon display. I remember how you laughed until you couldn't catch your breath, before we knew the silence of this slow and quiet death. I still have the receipt from the pack road and wide, the currency of always, from when your heart was mine. Now I'm a curator, a wreckage in its 20s when these searching for the flicker of a long extinguished spark. It's a moment we missed. It's a story we told. Tiny little pieces of a life I used to hold. Yeah, I'm just staring at these lost ticket stubs. Outdated entry, the doors are locked and tight. I'm standing on a pavement in the middle of the night. Just a scrap of paper, just a night we shared before I realized how much I wasn't prepared. It's Tuesday night, January 20th, 2026. I'm tracing lines on the tabletop with a habit I can't fix. I found that old atlas we marked up in the spring, back when we were certain we could handle anything. Looking at the circles that we drew in faded ink, standing on a precipice, trying not to think about the roads we didn't travel and the towns we'll never see. Since you took the compass and you walked away from me, I'm staring at the kitchen floor, and every tile's a mile between the way I'm living now and the memory of your smile. I'm a pilot with no signal, I'm a sailor with no shore, trying to navigate a house that isn't home anymore. Now I'm just drawing a map of missing shadows in 1,000 shades of blue. A jagged little border where your hand used to rest, and a mountain range of sorrow sitting heavy in my chest. I'm charting every silence, I'm marking every scar, trying to calculate the distance on just how far you are. Yeah, I'm lost inside this map of missing you. I saw the coffee shop we loved on 4th and Main, and I realized that landmark is just a trigger for the pain. I crossed it out in pencil, but the ghost is still there, like the scent of your tobacco in the cold January air. Every corner of the city is a tribe I can't escape, a memory of us in a twisted, darkened shape. I'm walking through the grid of a life we used to own, learning how to coordinate the be bad anymore. It's a dead-end street, it's a hollow view, just a 2026 winter. It's Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. I'm looking for a trail that I don't know how to fix. I'm walking through the kitchen of our 2 AM house, searching for the courage of a quiet, hollow mouse. I found a receipt from that diner on the coast, and a handwritten note that I never got to post. Little pieces of the us that we left on the floor lead me right up to the threshold of a locked and bolted door. I thought I'd find my way back if I followed every sign, if I traced the jagged edges of your story and mine. But the birds have come and gone, and the wind is blowing cold, and I'm losing my grip on the things I used to hold. Now I'm just following muted breadcrumbs in the dark, looking for the fire, but I'm tripping on the spark that a tiny little remnants of a love that didn't stay turned to gray and dusty ash in a January wait. I'm for the crumbs, but they dissolve it in my hand. I'm back to a forever that I don't quite understand. Yeah, I'm lost in these muted breadcrumbs. I saw a half-empty bottle of the wine we used to share, and a single silver strand of your long and messy hair. I'm gathering the fragments like they're worth their weight in gold, to fill the empty spaces that the winter nights unfold. I followed your scent to the edge of the bar, but the trail goes cold where the shadows get dark. Every little clue is just a dead-end street, leaving me with nothing but the rhythm of defeat. If the past is gone, then who am I now? I'm a king without a kingdom, a prayer without a vow. I spent a lifetime looking for the way back home, just to realize the forest is the only place I roam. 100 traces that you were ever mine. The trail is gone and the snow is deep, just a handful of dust that I wasn't meant to keep. It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. I'm listening for a rhythm that I don't know how to fix. The radiator's clicking in a slow and steady beat, while the frost is crawling softly down the empty winter street. I hear a distant whistle coming through the valley floor, the same one that you followed when you walked out of my door. Now the windows start to rattle and the floor begins to sway as the 12:05 to nowhere carries all my dreams away. I'm a passenger of silence, I'm a drifter in the dark, clinging to the memory of a long extinguished spark. I try to close my eyes and find the way back to your side, but I'm just waiting for the engine in the places where we hide. And it's a night train lullaby singing in my head, the heavy iron echoes of the things we never said, a rhythmic hollow thumping on a cold and lonely track to a station in the distance that is never coming back. The world is getting blurry as the shadows start to fly. I'm humming to the thunder of a 2026 sky. Yeah, it's just a night train lullaby. I saw the light go flashing across the pictures on the wall, a jagged streak of silver in the silence of the hall. I remember how we listened to the roaring of the steel, back when every forever felt like something we could feel. Now the horn is just a morning cry, a lonely wailing sound, as the weight of your departure pulls me deeper in the ground. I'm tracing out the vibrations in the wood beneath my feet, mapping out the coordinates of the love that's incomplete. Is there a stop along the tracks don't have to shatter and the iron finally bends? Or are we just two boxcars disconnected in the rain, running on the momentum of a very quiet station in the distance, but is never coming back. The world is getting blurry as the shadows start to fly. I'm humming to the thunder of a turning 26 stars. Just a night train lullaby. The sound of you not coming back. Click, clack, click, clack. The fading of the light to black. I'll stay here at the window until the wheels go still in the January quiet. On the edge of the hill.